fundamental support for the entire enclosure is the connection between a corner joint and a 33C aluminum frame member. Each corner of the cage, hood, and stand will have a corner joint that connects to 3 pieces of aluminum frame. Mastering the assembly of this joint will make building the cage faster and easier. The parts that you will need to practice building a corner joint are 1 corner joint, 3 short pieces of 33C aluminum frame, 3 button head socket screws, 3 draw wedges, and the Allen wrench. The draw wedge has 2 functions. First, when the socket screw engages with the back end of the draw wedge, the wedge will expand and draw the corner joint tightly into the aluminum frame. Second, once the corner joint is drawn tightly into the frame, the front end of the wedge expands over the tongue of the corner joint. This action will hold the corner joint and the aluminum frame together in an extremely strong way. Take a careful look at the corner joint and see that 2 of the corners are alike and 1 is different. The 2 that are the same are the horizontal corners that attach to horizontal frame members, and the one that is different is the vertical corner that will attach to a vertical frame member. Note that the connections for the horizontal frame and the vertical frame are different, and the screw must be inserted differently. The horizontal corners of the corner joint are at the bottom left and right in this picture and have open channels for the socket screws to snap into. The opening to the closed channel of the vertical corner of the corner joint can be seen at the top in this photo. When setting on its base, the horizontal corners of the corner joint will be flat on the table and the vertical corner will be pointing up. The easiest way to start the process for one of the horizontal frames is to thread one of the draw wedges onto a button head socket screw a few turns and then snap the screw into the correct position on the corner joint. There is a channel for the Allen wrench to be able to reach through the corner joint to the head of the socket screw. Insert the draw wedge into the center channel of the aluminum frame and use the Allen wrench to tighten the screw into the draw wedge. Tighten the screw until the wedge is firmly seated and there is no wiggle between the corner joint and the frame. With the corner joint setting on its base, the horizontal frame member is sitting flat on the table. The vertical frame member will attach to the corner joint in a position that is perpendicular to the horizontal member. The opening for the socket screw in the vertical corner of the joint is not open like it is for the horizontal corners, and the screw must be inserted into the joint before the draw wedge can be threaded onto the screw. After the draw wedge is threaded onto the screw, insert the wedge into the channel in the vertical frame member and tighten the screw with the Allen wrench. Install the remaining horizontal frame piece onto the corner joint and tighten it completely. A corner cap may be placed onto the open side of the corner joint. but it is best to do this last after the cage is assembled. If you have a pull-out tray with the cage, a different type of cap will be installed on the bottom of the cage. The corner cap has a square peg that slips into the vertical chamber of the corner joint. Use the small Phillips head screwdriver to drive a small black sheet metal screw into the hole in the center of the cap to attach it to the corner joint. The more you tighten the socket screws, the harder it will be for the frame to be pulled off of the corner. Over-tightening and stripping the threads of the draw wedge is very hard to do, but just in case, we have sent extra draw wedges. If the wedge threads are stripped, remove the screw, then remove the wedge and replace it with a new draw wedge. Once you get started with building the entire enclosure, this is how you will assemble all of the corner joints on the cage, stand, and hood. Now you can disassemble your practice corner and get started building the cage.